Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some massive Pokemon news to go over. The Indigo Disk DLC previews are now out. We've got a ton of new gameplay, features, mechanics, so many new details to go over for the second part of the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero DLC. We're going to be breaking all of it down today. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, we're going to be taking a look at the new gameplay for the Indigo Disk DLC. This was posted on HDvee's YouTube channel, and yeah, it's like a 9-minute long video, and there's just so much new gameplay for the Indigo Disk DLC. So, we're just going to kind of like pan through it. Of course, if you want to see the full video, just go to HDvee's YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure it's on the actual HDvee website as well. But as you can see, we start off with the protagonist kind of walking through these sort of like cube-like features. Again, these look to be quite interesting in the Indigo Disk DLC. Not really too sure what they're for. We're going to go over all of the actual information after we go over the gameplay. I just kind of want to see how pretty the Indigo Disk looks and stuff. So we have the coastal biome here. This is obviously in the Terrarium. I don't think there's going to be anything about Area Zero in this kind of preview or anything like that. I think that's very much like post-game kind of stuff, potentially. But as you can see, as soon as you walk out the biome, you can start seeing Pokemon all over the place. We obviously have a Swordsbuck there. We have a Survivor. There's items you can pick up, full heals. I'm assuming the items will be quite common, just like they are in the Teal Mass DLC. So I've got them running around there just so you can kind of see the sort of environment and stuff. Then we have them over here riding Miraidon and just kind of going over these biomes. As you can see, it does kind of split the biomes, these sort of like cube things. I'm assuming it like splits the environment as well. So obviously above us you can see like an ice mountain, so obviously you'll find like ice types there. This is like a grassy area, so you'll probably see like, you know, I don't know, like normal types, grass types, stuff like that. You have more of a kind of Sahara theme here, so you might see like ground types and stuff. There's like a rocky mountain over here, maybe a couple of fire types there and stuff, just kind of showing off all the different biomes and stuff. And then we have this here where I'm assuming this is the tallest part. We do obviously have a fly spot here as well, and you can kind of see all the different biomes here as well. They also clearly got to play as both protagonists as well. I'm not sure if the footage they're using for these videos are just given to them by Nintendo or if they actually recorded them themselves. I think it's given them to them from Nintendo. So obviously there's loads of different kind of previews out right now, but I'm assuming they'll all use the same kind of gameplay. We have here a Smeargle, which of course is one of the I don't know if this was confirmed to be returning before this video. We knew it from the data mines, but I don't think we'd actually seen footage of it. But as you can see, there's like the different kind of there's going to be new sort of like, I don't know what you call them, like different kind of things you can do when you're like, obviously taking pictures and stuff, different kind of stances and everything like that. So we have that with the Smeargle, and you can kind of do like different expressions now as well, which is also pretty cool. So obviously that's new to the Indigo Disk. And then we go over here. This is looks like, I don't know, it looks kind of like a gym place. I'm assuming all will be explained when we do go over all the details and stuff. Like I said, I'm just going over the gameplay right now. We've got some Alolan Executor in the background. Obviously, you've got the Rotom stick and stuff. We've already got access to that and everything, but obviously it's very, very useful when you're taking pictures and stuff of these different Pokemon. We then have an Alolan Golem as well. I don't know if Geodude's already, I can't remember if they're already in the game or not, but either way, Alolan Golem is in the game. You're obviously getting it washed here in the picnic background and stuff like that. So that's obviously those features. We then have a bunch of dealing here. I'm pretty sure this is the same gameplay used by all of the different previews and stuff, because I remember seeing this on a different video. But anyway, you have like the dealing there. I'm assuming the dealing change kind of like their features depending on like the biome they're in. So obviously they'll have like an autumn feature in like more of a colder kind of environment and stuff like that. We then have Trapinch over here as well. We've got wild Smeargle, so obviously they can pop up in the wild, which is really nice. Again, I don't know if they're going to go into detail about starters and stuff, but I know that's what a lot of people really want to hear. We also have this kind of Pokemon Center, which is a portable one where you literally just put your Pokeballs in. There's no Nurse Joy in this bit here, so they're just healing themselves in like this kind of portable location. And obviously some people you can talk to there as well. We then have this guy over here. He's talking about that's all right, you have without a doubt got yourself an Alolan Executor. So I'm assuming this is like the side quest. There's obviously a ton of side quests throughout the Indigo Disk. We know this because of the data mines and stuff. We have Lacey here as well. I'm not sure if the side quests are called like assignments or not, but I'm assuming that is the case. We obviously have Blitzel here as well. The Savannah biome, because it's where you can find Blitzel. So obviously just, if you want a Blitzel, you go to the Savannah biome. But yeah, you'll find different Pokemon if you cross over into one of the different biomes. So again, just kind of explaining how the biomes are, of course, set up in a way where they do have different environments and stuff. So different, obviously, different Pokemon can like spawn there and stuff. We obviously have Matang here as well, just kind of following these characters. I'm interested to see what these are. I'm interested to read the previews to see what these kind of things are. They look like a really interesting location. We have the canyon biome here as well in the terrarium, so obviously there's like a rickety bridge and stuff. There's Magnemite here, this guy, the Canyon Plaza, with a team that support Amaris of the Elite Four. So I'm assuming that these Elite Four members are split up into the different biomes, then you have to kind of like complete a biome, and then that's when you can take on one of the Elite Four. And I'm assuming they're going to be really difficult to beat as well, because obviously in the Indigo Disk, we do have, in the Teal Mask, should I say, we do have the Ogre Clan, which are pretty high leveled, so obviously these are going to be really high leveled as well. We also have battle points as well, as you can see in the top right, 5,200 battle points. Are you ready and willing to pay? So battle points do make a return in the Indigo Disk DLC. Only cost 50, so I'm not sure if it's going to be really easy to get battle points or not, but either way, that's that part. And then obviously you can go to the vending machines as well. You can buy a few items, so you can buy loads of different things. You can buy like different healing items. You can also buy Pokeballs as well. I'm hoping you can buy some really, really good things in terms of like competitive items as well. But we then have a Mary's here as well, and she is looking like she is going to be... This is where she kind of resides, so yeah, I'm assuming the Elite Four kind of all split up into the different locations and stuff. We then have Amari's here as well, and therefore I will carry out my duty as a member of the Elite Four and flawlessly as I do. And so I think you have to basically complete like tasks as well in order to fight the Elite Four members. So I'm assuming Amari's task is that you have to do this fly kind of thing. Now, assuming that we are going to be able to do this all the time after we complete the Indigo Disk, it's going to make life a lot easier because we don't have to glide everywhere. But this is just kind of one of the tasks that we have to do, and we have to reach the goal within the prescribed time, and then that's when we can fight Amaris and stuff like that. And then as you can see, you complete my Elite Trials. So Elite Trials are what they are called, and then I'm assuming we can then battle her and stuff. So there's that bit there, and then we obviously have the battle with Amaris here as well. Do you wish to begin? I don't know if we actually get any footage of the actual battle to see what kind of type she is. No, we just have the Archaludon here for Drayden and stuff. And there's kind of loads of just different gameplay shots and stuff like that. Really, really cool. It looks really, really nice. Like I say, there's not a ton of information that's given us from the gameplay, but of course we do have the previews and stuff to go over as well. So this is all the actual text explaining the gameplay and stuff. So it's been over a year since Scarlet Violet launched, and since the launch we've had tons of events, yada yada yada. We were given some hands-on time with the expansion. I think they were only given like 60 minutes or whatever, specifically focusing against one of the Blueberry Elite Four members, and were let loose in the new school to do whatever we wish. And so began my exploration of the Terrarium and a look at what's new with the DLC pack and how it feels and what surprised me. So the Terrarium. So this is actual information about the Terrarium and stuff like that. So we started off entering the Terrarium in the Blueberry Academy with Lacey and Cyrano, where she explains that the Terrarium is with H projections of the passage of time and the sky through the dome, how they have a mysterious globe at the top which allows for terrestrialization. So that's how you can terrestrialize in the Indigo Disk, because of this big globe that allows it to happen. Because remember, terrestrialization is only available in Paldea, so that's why we can terrestrialize in the Indigo Disk. But Serrano can't seem to remember what it is truly made of, which is a nice tantalizing notion into how things may go. Lacey then explained how the Terrarium has 4 different habitats: the polar, the savanna, the coastal, and the canyon. There are 4 quadrants in the area and a house, a variety of Pokemon, different in each area as you would expect. In the coastal one, you'll find a lot of water Pokemon, and ones like a lone Executor on the beach. Polar is filled with ice types, like a Alolan Sandshrew and Beartic. The Savannah had ones like Cantonian Tauros, Doduo, and the Canyon one had Pokemon like Alolan Geodude, Tyrogue, and so forth. So it provides a lot of variety to the map. So that's right, despite the Blueberry Academy being in the Unova region, there is a lot of regional forms dotted throughout the Terrarium. This made for a nice feeling of difference compared to the rest of the game, as it was nice to just see the Pokemon out in the wild. It helps give the feeling that the Terrarium is in essence akin to a Safari Zone, where many wild Pokemon have been brought from other regions. I did see both a Cantonian and a Alolan Executor, so you can find multiple forms in the wild, which is really, really useful. Got me wondering how an Execute would evolve if I evolved in the Terrarium. I found an Execute, but I was unable to find a Leaf Stone in time, so that'll be a question of the launch, how you actually obtain the different forms and stuff, because they couldn't find a Leaf Stone in time. There are, of course, a load of returning Pokemon throughout the Terrarium, though I don't actually think I saw a single Paldean Pokemon among them in the wild, but we may see many, including Oricorio, Powstyle, the one Oricorio not found in the wild in Scarlet and Violet yet, and the different Dealing and Swordsbook in each biome, which also has a nice touch. So yeah, the actual Swordsbook and Dealing do change their forms depending on the area that they're in. We're also told that the first partner Pokemon would indeed be found throughout the Terrarium, but within my gameplay I was unable to see any of them, so they're either rare or there's something else to get them. So that's obviously the starter Pokemon. Now, we already know that Nintendo accidentally tweeted out saying that we have to complete side quests for the starter Pokemon, so that's probably why you can't find them straight off the bat. So if you are going into the Indigo Disk hoping to get like a Totodile straight away, it doesn't look likely. The map is all appear to be much larger than Kitakami, but not as big as Paldea, so there's a lot to explore. But of course, it's being an artificial environment. It's not like Paldea, where you'll have towns and villages to explore. Instead, you'll find a lot of rest spots with various students throughout the area, as well as a big central one in the middle of the area where you typically interact with the story, heal with your Pokemon, start the Union Circle, or access the TM crafting machine. However, this doesn't mean there isn't a lot to explore in the areas. I kept getting lost and distracted just looking around for the various Pokemon. So all sounds very, very good there. Much of what you'd expect from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is the same within the Terrarium. You have Terra Raid battle crystals throughout the area, as well as mass outbreaks happening, large amounts of Pokemon and items everywhere. Their items are a bit unusual in that in addition to the standard berries, evolution items, XP candy, and even sweets to evolve Milcery, you'll find Terra Shards. So you can actually find Terra Shards there as well, which is really useful. What surprised me about the number of Terra Shards obtained from picking it up. When I picked up the Rock Terra Shard, it actually gave me 18 Terra Shards. So it's going to be very, very easy to change Terra types now in the Indigo Disk, which is obviously very, very useful. The toughest battles. This isn't all there in the Terrarium. Throughout the area, you will find the students of the Blueberry Academy and they will want to battle you. The Blueberry Academy itself has a curriculum focused primarily around Pokemon battles, and so the students here are definitely willing to battle you. As the DLC can be accessed if you have completed the way home from the Teal Mask, these trainers are going to be high leveled. You'll find trainers from level 60 throughout, and to top it off, every single trainer I found in the Terrarium is a double battle, which is a marked change from every main series game to date where they're primarily single battles. So most of the battles in the Indigo Disk are going to be double battles, which is very interesting because it gives you like that Pokemon Coliseum vibe. To top it off, like the Kitakami Ogre Clan and the Teal Mask, you'll find some really tough trainers dotted around the Terrarium. While I was exploring off the beaten path, I found one with a team in the level 70s that actually proved a challenge. A little bit sad about that because I was expecting the levels to be like 90s, like 80s, 19s, 100, because obviously the Ogre Clan were like really high leveled, so you'd expect these to be even higher, but it looks like they're around the same level. They were using some classic double battle strategies and had held items on their Pokemon such as Toxic, Orb, Guts, Zangoose, double intimidate strategies, Grassy Seed Whimsicott with Grassy Terrain and more. So very competitive sets on these Pokemon. This is where the challenge will start to come in with double battles. Some of the more complex strategies behind Pokemon will come out, and these trainers will use those against you. Even if your team's at level 80 and above, you may find them trickier than you would for a standard playthrough of a Pokemon game. So they're compounded with the second part of the preview. We got to play where we got to face off one of the Blueberry 4, Elite 4 Marys. It started off with a trial, much like how the gyms had trials to complete in Paldea. And with this one was shown in the trailers where you could properly fly on Crad and ride an eye to get to the end of the course while flying through all of the rings. This lulled me into a false sense of security when it wasn't that tricky, but the battle itself was different matter. We were told going into that a different save was made for this, as a team of level 80 Pokemon we had for the first part of the preview just couldn't handle facing off against the Marys. So instead we had a new team of level 88 Pokemon with competitive movesets and held items. Yet despite that, we were all told to expect to lose it, and going in I could see why. Straight off the bat, Marys went in with some classic and brutal double battle strategies, and every Pokemon on their team felt like it had means to counter any possible weakness. Luckily, I've got the experience in VGC and Pokemon in general, so I managed to navigate some strategies from the outset and defeated the Marys without using any revives or potions provided, but it stunned me how tough it was. So the Elite Four are not to mess around with. They are actually going to be really, really difficult in the Indigo Disk DLC, and I'm really happy about that because they should be tough. You know, these are the strongest trainers in the world apparently, so reminded me more of what you see towards the later levels of Battle Tower Facility than what you'd get while playing through the main story or even post-game of a main series Pokemon game. Obviously, if you have a team of level 100 Pokemon, you'll get the advantage, it'll be less difficult, but such level increases mean a lot less here in comparison with the Teal Mask. The Blueberry Elite Four can seemingly be done in any order, so it's likely they'll all be up to such a challenge, but it makes me very curious from how the later content in the Indigo Disk will go in terms of difficulty. So you can do any of them at any time, so you could do Lacey first or whatever, you do Mary's first. There is no kind of pattern. So, new moves for all. I did get a look at some of the new technical machines that are being introduced in the Indigo Disk. There's a mix of returning moves in TM such as Expanding Force, Triple Axle, Skitter Smack, Meteor Beam, Breaking Swipe, Scorching Sands, Curse Coaching, Electro Web, and more, as well as some new moves including the world's reveals of Upper Hand and Psychic Noise, as well as some new moves like Supercharged Cell and Hard Press, which is a steel move which does more damage the higher the target's hit points. These competitive moves play on the battle focus that the Blueberry Academy has and really makes me intrigued to see where it will take competitive strategies over the next year or so. So inspirations, So as we know from the Teal Mask, the Blueberry Academy is in the Unova region, and there's inspiration from it everywhere. The music has some elements from the region throughout, such as the wild Pokemon theme basically being a remix of it. Put a big smile on my face when I heard it for the first time. There are other inspirations from Unova, Alola, and other Pokemon games throughout the area, which I unfortunately can't disclose just yet, which are just fun to have. So, performance. Of course, I would be remiss to not address one of the big elements that work against Scarlet and Violet, the performance. Obviously, this was a pre-launch build, so subject to change, but the performance did seem okay. It was definitely not worse than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had been up to this point, and may have felt even smoother than before, but it was not without its flaws or slowdowns. But I had no slowdowns, which felt like Casaroya Lake in version 1.1. Just a few drops here and there. Basically, it's still Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, so don't go in expecting a massive overhaul. So there is still going to be like frame drops and lag and stuff like that, which is really, really unfortunate. But as Joe does say here, that this is a pre-build, so hopefully when it comes out, it might be a little bit better. So conclusion, obviously, I could see a small snapshot of the Indigo Disk in the preview and couldn't dive into the full elements of it. And not into the Area Zero endgame, but they have been teasing with Terrapagos. But from what I've seen so far, the Indigo Disk is shaping up to be one of the biggest expansions Pokemon have seen, and certainly one of the toughest challenges that Pokemon has had outside of Battle Frontiers. So this actually sounds really, really good. We do, of course, have IGN here also getting to play it. I don't know if there's much different here, really. We have some like screenshots and stuff of it, but I don't think that is going to be anything like crazy. I think that's just general Scarlet and Violet stuff there. So this is the end game stuff here. So the Indigo just seemed like it's adding all the post-game content to a Pokemon that a Pokemon fan could want. So yeah, it was Elite 4 times, so I guess they're just talking about Mary's, how it's going to be. It wasn't too hard, but it was a nice change of pace from the traditional Pokemon gameplay and gives you something fun to do before you throw against down a member of the Elite 4. Okay, there's not really a lot of articles in here and stuff. I didn't win that battle against the Maris, but it just made me more excited to get back into the Indigo Disk. So as you can see, you will actually need to know a little bit about Pokemon to be able to defeat the Elite 4 and stuff like that, but nah, it looks really good though, man, from these previews. I wasn't expecting the previews today. I was still kind of expecting a trailer. Probably won't get a trailer this week if the previews are out this week. Maybe a trailer next week. But either way, we got a ton of new gameplay, and we got a ton of new information about the DLC as well. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. Leave a comment with your thoughts on the latest information for the Indigo Disk DLC. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, peace.